Uncut Gems was praised as a cinematic wonder.
Yeah! Oh my god!
But was it only praised because Adam Sandler did something different for once?
Let's get into this review. Uncut Gems begins in Ethiopia, where some miners find this magical rock, and it transitions straight into Adam Sandler getting a colonoscopy.
Despite us taking a journey through Adam Sandler's butthole, we really do see this really intense character that Adam Sandler creates.
I'm literally minutes away from closing the biggest deal of my goddamn life, and when I do, you're gonna be embarrassed.
Which I think is very referential to Peter Dante's character, which we've seen in a lot of Happy Madison production films.
You'll get there on time, because we're gonna give you a 4-alarm presidential police escort.
It was something very, very different for Sandler. Like nothing like his other serious roles like Spanglish or Reign Over Me. This is a whole new flavor of him that seems to have always kind of been there, but here it's done differently.
He's a character. I actually didn't see Adam Sandler in this role at all. I just saw a character.
Sleep on the floor again! I'm exhausted!
And it's really interesting in this film where we see a lot of Sandlerisms we've seen before, like in The Do-Over where he's playing a douche and he surrounds himself with attractive women. But he's seen as the charismatic main character, good guy in that film. Where here, he's actually playing a horrible human being. And we see all these tropes that actually add to the bad flavor that Howard gives you.
And that's really evident early on when we're in his jewelry shop and NBA player Kevin Garnett walks in, and the dialogue is so tense. Howard is so elusive, he barely answers any questions.
That's an 18. So I can get you 14. KJ!
You're anxious from the get-go, and this is only 13 minutes into the film.
Yeah, this film is constantly praised for how well it creates this anxious situation. And we see Adam Sandler unwrapping the stone from Ethiopia while this guy is cussing him out for not treating him well.
Who doesn't get out? I said these guys don't work here.
Holy shit, I'm gonna come.
The main plot point that's formed is centered around this Ethiopian rock that Howard's procured, and Kevin Garnett becomes very quickly obsessed with this rock.
Howard's a big NBA fan, so he's pressured into trading the rock for Kevin Garnett's ring just for one night because he needs to get the rock to an auction to sell off to pay off other people whose money he owes, but he's also a degenerate gambler.
And a lot of the anxiety that comes from this film is the debt collectors that are coming for Howard, and then on top of that, Howard's poor decision making, because we very quickly see the ring that Howard has procured from Kevin Garnett, which is his NBA championship ring, Howard takes to a pawn shop to pawn for money, which he then gambles on Kevin Garnett's basketball game. There is so much already at stake just by Howard's decision making.
But the crazy part about this film is this stone seems to have some sort of magical powers. By Kevin Garnett having this stone, he is performing so well in basketball that Howard is able to correctly predict what happens.
This doesn't sound bedtime stories magic though. This is more of a placebo effect, but either way, I'm feeling the magic, Howard's feeling the magic.
He's also a family man, not only to his girlfriend, but to his current wife and child, who he can barely say goodnight to without watching the basketball. And we've seen Adam Sandler do this in other movies, like when he's a neglectful husband in Murder Mystery, or not giving time to his kids in Click. But here, he's properly shown as a bad guy.
And we can see his bad traits already rubbing off on one of his children, with his son already getting a bit of a gambling addiction and a collection addiction, just like his dad. And as an Adam Sandler fan who has watched Sandler play time and time again the same guy who is heralded for being the guy, it is so nice to see the inverse of that in this film, and they're doing it so well.
So back in Howard's world, the bet he made on Garnett's game has gone through. Everything that he wished has come true. And must I say, Mac, this car ride of him explaining how he's won is some of the best acting I've ever seen from Sandler.
Davis, I just hit very big, very big. Oh my God.
Eye contact.
I don't know, brother, have you seen bedtime stories?
But Kevin Garnett has not returned his opal, and now he's at his kid's play where debt collectors have followed him into the audience.
And it's funny to see the parallels of this and Grown Ups too, where they're also watching a play, but instead of Adam Sandler getting his rocks off to a dance instructor, instead he's kidnapped into a back of a car, stripped and beaten.
No, I want the underwear.
And it's tragic because these are the debt collectors who would have been paid from the bet he just won, but they pulled his bet because they thought it was a stupid bet.
You stopped the bet? Shut the fuck up!
It's so hard because you're rooting against him, you want him to get beaten up, at the same time it's so hard to watch him get beaten up.
Yeah.
But just like water off a duck's back, Howard's back out into the world because he's looking for his $1 million opal. So he tracks down the guy Damani that's supposed to have it at a weekend concert where his side piece, Julia Fox, is also supposed to be at.
But not only does Damani not have the opal, which is so frustrating, Julia Fox is nowhere to be seen.
Until she is seen in a closet with Abel, aka The Weeknd.
The Howard's world really starts to crumble personally, financially, just everyone in his life is screwing him over, really.
So he breaks things off with Julia Fox, and we find out the debt collectors are members of his own family. But in a shining light, he gets the opal back from Kevin Garnett.
Even though he can't return Kevin Garnett's ring.
Ring, God, no, I left the fucking ring in Long Island.
What do you mean you left it in Long Island?
And I really love how they've constructed this character to really be grasping at straws. Like, as soon as he's lost Julia Fox, he goes back to his wife and is like, hey, you think we can make this work, actually?
I know I fucked up. I know.
Yeah, you fucked up. You are a fuck up. And I'm not having this conversation.
And what makes him even worse is he takes the whole family in a car to the home where the mistress is living just to check that she's moved out. That's how much of a scumbag he is.
I mean, he tries to keep them out of the room, but his son really needs to be, so he gets the son to be in the neighbor's apartment.
How are you making a case for Howard right now?
I know. I'm just saying that it's so wonderfully terrible to watch this character try and band-aid fix his life at every turn. And that's where the fun anxiety comes from watching this. Now, leading into the final act, we have the auction for the opal, of which the auction people have gone ahead and undervalued. So to add even more anxiety to the movie, Adam Sandler's got a family member to do false bids to jack up the price, hopefully making Kevin Garnett buy it for a premium.
That's right, Kevin Garnett's there. He really is sincere about this opal, but also who is there? The family member debt collectors that want his head. It is so tense in this room, and what ends up happening is the greatest fear. The family member ends up winning the whole auction and getting the opal, which is the last thing that anybody wanted.
The family member knows Howard messed up, the debt collectors know, Kevin Garnett knows that he's just a scumbag.
And he's met outside by the debt collectors who kindly drop him off into a water fountain.
Suck my God,
This scene is the epitome of this film and why it's so anxiety-inducing. Because of the sound design, all you hear is the rushing water of the water fountain in what would be normally a very serene place, but it's so tense and loud and keeps all your muscles just so tense.
And I think this leads to one of the more beautiful Sandler breakdowns. Like, his character is just broken. He's got no credibility anymore. Julia Fox comes back to him with a tattoo of his name on her butt.
Everything I do is not going right. Everything I do is not going right. I don't know what to do. I really don't.
You don't feel for him emotionally, but you see what could happen if a person were to live their life like this, which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
But for the crescendo of this film, we see him get a sprinkle of hope.
It's still 175, right?
Yes.
In cash.
Yes, in cash. Like I said, we're at the bank right now. Kevin, yes.
And before you know it, the game's back on, baby.
He sells the opal back to Kevin Garnett, making, I think, a loss here. And he takes the money from that, and instead of giving it to the family member who outbid everyone else, he invests it in Kevin Garnett's game. He bets all the money again.
All right, I'm not a fucking athlete. This is my fucking way. This is how I win.
But he doesn't make the bet himself because he knows everyone would come after him if they saw him do it. So he flies Julia Fox to Vegas with all the money to make the bet and hopefully not get caught by anyone doing it.
But at the same time, the debt collectors have come to visit him at his jewelry shop. He's luckily managed to trap them in that little midway room. And while he's kept them there as captive, they've sent people after Julia Fox in Vegas, so now we're anxious for two different plot lines.
And this whole sequence is just a beautiful concoction of the filmmaking on display here, of the anxiety, of the drama, of the stakes, of the funny bits of these other random debt collectors that keep rocking up at his door.
You having a good time?
Yes.
And it's also very classic Sandlerisms of his character really never learns anything until the final act. But in this movie, He learns absolutely nothing because of his gambling addiction. It doesn't just go away magically like in every other Adam Sandler film.
But viewing this, it's really hard to grapple that because he's winning his bet. Like everything that he gambled on is coming true. And in a regular Sandler movie, that just happens and he wins and it's all happy. But it is not how the rest of this film goes.
Julia Fox manages to escape the people hunting her down, but Sandler's face to face with his captors and they're there for hours watching this NBA game. And they're getting angrier and angrier. He's making a fool of them while also making his money back.
Oh my God!
But he wins. Every single parlay he made on this bet came true. And he finally releases the guys into his jewelry shop. He's won.
I can't do it, What the f did you just do?
And it's over. The horrible man is dead despite having the money to pay everyone back. He went too far, angered too many people, and it's just over.
My jaw was on the floor. I've never seen an Adam Sandler character get his comeuppance like this, and it was so deserved. It was such a wonderful crescendo. We just got to see a glimpse of this man's life and see that payoff of him dying. It was so weird to want to root for that.
Only Adam Sandler could have done this, and it would have the effect that it's had. Like, just the career he's had, the performances he's given, to then come out with this, I think is really beautiful. I think it would have been a fundamentally different film with any other actor. I'm happy to rate this, Mac.
I'm also happy to rate this, sir, but before we do that, we play a game of Adam Sandler themed bingo around here using all of the Sandlerisms in all of his films. Up on screen are our bingo cards. Joe, how did you go?
I scored bingo. There was enough Sandler tropes in here for me to get enough cards to score.
Joe, I scored nothing.
What?
This is my first nothing burger in a bingo. I got not a square.
Wow.
What did you have?
Because they were there. I got polo shirt, Sandler screams, plenty of that.
Fuck you!
Hot wife, and I got an outdated word.
I think maybe I was just too engrossed in the film to even play bingo this week. So yeah, I got absolutely nothing. Let's rate this bad boy.
As a lover of art films, I've been looking forward to watching Uncut Gems with you for a long while. I've seen it before. I've known it's some of Sandler's best work, and I have to keep agreeing. I'm gonna watch this again and again and again and probably only appreciate it more with time. This time that I watched it, it was a great time. Maybe didn't watch it the best time, but I still gave it a solid 8.
Wow.
Will watch again for the rest of my life.
I've never seen it before, so I really didn't know what to expect, but that it was going to be full of anxiety. I was so pleasantly surprised to see Sandler really leaning into a character, not just with his mannerisms, but even the way they styled him. For example, in Happy Gilmore 2, it's literally just the way Sandler would dress any time of the week with his normal beard. He didn't even bother shaving it. Whereas with this, they gave him the goatee, they gave him the perm, the style of him was so great. You really saw him as a character. I really did enjoy what was offered to me. I gave this a very strong 7.
Okay.
Teetering on a low 8, but I think it's a very strong 7 for me.
All right, anything lower than 7, I would have been mad, but that's all right. I'll accept your 7.
I'm glad you agree. Sir, let's pick what movie we're watching next.
Oh, true. The next film we are watching is Murder Mystery 2.
Murder Mystery 1 was fine.
From good to bad, huh?
It was fine. I don't know. Hey, it's going to be great regardless, my friends. Thank you for watching. We do plenty of these. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an Adam Sandler review.
But most of all, make sure you tell someone you love them today.
Bye.
Bye.